Hello and welcome to this edition of Big Sky 35 Cards, where tonight we're just going to go over real quick a little 10 card PSA return from Mike O's group that I did. Just talk about some of the cards and why, you know, I didn't really worry about some of the grades, and some of the grades were, what I thought they were going to be, and some were worse, some was a lot better. So we'll go over that a little bit because it seems like PSA is using this downtime to catch up a little bit on the back orders. They're still taking like the higher end stuff in, but not the bulk orders. So that's understandable. Maybe they'll get a little bit of maybe a million card back order instead of 2 million or whatever they have. And before I do that, I just want to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the hobby. Kind of feels like with everything going on in the real world, a lot of excitement is going on in the hobby with no sports being played and everything, and things not going on. It seems like as a community, as a group, from investors to flippers to people like me that just collect and sell a little bit to support their collecting or just to get rid of stuff. It's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and that is great. I mean, for this Project 2020, it seems like getting a lot of buzz to just regular old, good old collecting. People like reconnecting back to maybe their backlog or stuff they had boxes. It just seems like a lot of excitement buzz, and I just think more with not much going on in a lot of people's lives, they have more time to do this. So I just wanted to put that out there, and it's really been fun watching all these videos and everything on that from other people. So with that being said, let's take a look and see what I got. Hello and welcome back to Big Sky 35 Cards. Like I said, I'm going to go over just 10 cards real quick that I got on the Mike O return. You might have saw these revealed on his channel. I only had one big card. I had a potential for two big cards. Well, a couple, and then some bigger cards, just iconic. So first, I'm just going to start with the worst first. Just want to talk about it a little bit. These are like ones. I am a Gary Carter, I guess what you call super collector. I'm trying to work on his PSA registry. And just trying to turn in some cards to save me some money if I already have them. And this one came back a 3. There's some cracking going on. And what I think would happen here was when I turn this in, if you're familiar with these Kellogg cards, they have a slight curvature in them. They're not perfectly flat. And I think this one was probably a little dried out. And when it got flattened in the mail, it cracked a little bit. And that's what I'm thinking would happen. I knew it wasn't a very good copy to begin with. I was just having a hard time finding this one. So I went ahead and just got this one slabbed just to have one. And if I come across one, which would be easy to get that in a higher grade, I'll do it. And that one's not too pricey. This one here, all center top to bottom, is Frank Thomas rookie at a 6, and I have a ton of these. It also, now after putting it in there, looks like this, like a tilt in it a little bit, maybe, or just the way I was holding it. But you could tell the bottom there is not as quite as the top. But man, the corners were sharp. I didn't see much chipping in the colors. I might have some surface damage. The back looked good. I just kind of, this is the one I kind of baffled me why it's a 6. This is when I wish I had a listing of like where the points come off. Um, and I got a ton of these that I could send in to get graded. This one here is another one that I picked up in a bulk lot a few years ago when I was just collecting raw Gary Carters, and I just came across in my cards, and I was like, instead of just purchasing this Four Corners or something, I sent it in. I was thinking it was going to be a 7, came back a 6. Terribly off center, but other than that, it was in good shape. The centering to me, sometimes they don't take off a lot, and then sometimes it gets destroyed. Again, I wish they would send out a Y, but that's okay. It's a 6. I thought it was going to be a 7. It's not like it's killed me or anything. Another one that I was a little confused with the grade of a 6. And since I sent this in, I've already have this one in a better grade. So it's just something I'm going to hang on to. It's a Gary Carter. It's hard for me to sell Gary Carters, even if I got dupes. And a 6. I mean, shoot, you're more. I better off giving it away than trying to sell it. Old Edmund. Yep. So it is what it is with that one. This one here, when it comes to the older 82 cards, I have a tough time, or older cards, period. I have a tough time grading them myself. I have not got to that level yet. But this got an 8. And as you can see, it is off-centered a little bit from left to right. And other than that, it looks really good. I, again, bought it raw several years back at a card show. I bought this in a Frank Thomas silver autograph at the same time for the same seller. So it gave me a nice little deal on it. But it's a very, it's going to be the best 8 you've ever seen. But I'm not going to say that. I believe it's probably got a little surface where it's dull, and the picture's probably not as crisp as it should be. So there you have it, 8. I'm happy with the 8. This one, again, you can see a little off-centered. I got a ton of these as well. And this one is not as iconic as the Upper Deck or the Bowman, but it's its 89 Tops Traded, which is a little confusing to me why this one. I mean, I could understand why it's not as sought after as some of the others, but the price on this one, yeah, is still fair. If you're looking for a Griffey rookie, it's probably one of the more affordable ones, especially in the 8 grade. I started looking up 8s, and it's cheaper to buy an 8 than it is to get it graded. So this is one of the new 2019 Gary Carters. So this one came straight from a pack into a sleeve to get sent to PSA, and you got a 9 straight from pack. And that's going to be one of those things you can hold a 9 and a 10 up beside each other and tell me which one's the 10. So it's a 9. 9's just fine. This one, really wanted a 10. I really like Jeff McNeil. Got a 9. I didn't put my background up, and I should have. I'm having terrible focusing issues today. I also think the PSA has a tend to glare, mess up the focus. So there's the Jeff McNeil first card, and his rookie card, but his first Bowman. And I'm very much of a stickler on what a first card, a prospect card, because Pete Alonso, you'll find his first Bowman card of last year, which is not his first Bowman, but it's the first card that came out for Bowman, because I don't think he was in Top Series 1. And it's a prospect card, and people want to write down it's his rookie card, and it's not in actuality. Yes, it's out in his rookie year, but it says it's a BP, it's a Bowman prospect, so I have issues with that. They came out with his rookie card later. This one I'm excited about. If you watch my channel, I like the Kellogg stuff. I like getting oddball food and beverage cards. Sonic Coke, Gary Carter Heroes of Baseball. Again, I picked this up in a lot of cards that I purchased off of eBay. And yeah, so I was really worried because it's an Upper Deck. It's made by not Upper Deck. So that foil on the back, I was really worried. That's what really, when you see Griffey's and everybody scratching their head on what is the issue with it, if you go back and look at the foil, which it probably wasn't as strict on this Gary Carter as they are with the Ken Griffey Jr. or Randy Johnson, which I will talk in a later episode, that I'm coming up with more PSA cards that are being returned on some of my feelings on that. Yeah, so here's a 10. Really like it. This, again, when I started diving into picking up, before I even knew about PSA Registry, I found a list of Gary Carter cards and started going after them. I wasn't going after this one per se, but it was cheaper to buy the lot with a bunch in it, and this was in it. Didn't even know this card existed. Awesome card. Really nice. I like that picture too. Really well done. Sonic Coke, made by Upper Deck. And then here's my big one. This is the one. This is the one. Casket card, as Elite Code 3 would say. Unless he destroys me somehow as a human being. But a Pete Alonso vintage stock, which means that's the Topps logo there, old school Topps logo, plus the actual stock of the paper that it's printed on is different. So, yeah, there you have it, a 10. And I have talked about it before, and it's out of 99. I did look up to see what this is going for, and I can't remember, but it's not being sold anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I am trying to pick up all these versions of this card. I have different chrome ones. I have holiday. I have those. I have yet to start getting the pricier colored versions, like the black and some of the other ones. So that's what I'm working on. So you'll be seeing less and less quantity from me, and hopefully you will be seeing quality from me here coming up. As I said before, I jump from one thing to the other of what I'm collecting, even though it's all in my collection. I love the Mets, but I started picking these up in this year's version of the Cup card, and yeah, so that's what I'm on right now. That and still getting the Gary Carters. So that is it for this edition of Big Sky 35. Please let me know what you feel about it. How do you collect PSA? Do you look for looking for cards that fit your personal collection, or do you just get them for solely flipping, or a little combination of both? And when you're getting them for your personal collection, is the grade that huge of a deal? I know there's certain circumstances, so please leave one of those comments on that, and subscribe. I'm getting close to that 200 mark, and tell a friend. Excuse me, a little dry mouth today. So get those packs out and get to ripping. See ya.